Chapter 11 The Tapestries. The light peeked through Lanoya's eyelids. It is a new sun. What happened to the even and my drawing? Those wretched teachers tricked me. She sat up, and a wave of dizziness hit her head. Her muscles were stiff and tight. What did that stupid healer do to me? A tall, slender woman with streaks of silver in her long brown hair entered the room. Her crooked smile was oddly comforting. I am teacher Salasha, and you are the young artist who refuses to join the other learners. Lanoya cleared her throat and inched her stiff muscles off the bed. Teacher of what? Why should I care? I did not ask to come to this place, and no one actually wants me here. Teacher Salasha reached out her hand. Come, child, I have arranged for you to have your first meal in the meeting room. Lanoya tilted her head and leaned back towards the bed. The meeting room? Teacher Salasha's crooked smile grew so large her teeth were visible. The room with the tapestries. I heard you wanted to know what they mean. Energy surged through Lanoya as she stood up straight, and her muscles were no longer tough to maneuver. You can tell me what the tapestries mean? She nodded and wiggled her fingers on her stretched out hand. Come on, then. Lanoya brushed past her. I know where that room is. She heard Teacher Salasha chuckled. Of course you do. The warm bread, cheese, and glass of milk was not as enticing as the symbols on the tapestries. The colors were vibrant and swarmed around the symbols. Lanoya studied the symbols. Her arms tingled, and the symbols grew larger and more obvious. Lanoya giggled and rubbed her arms. The symbols faded into the designs. Where did they go? Teacher Salasha panted as she came up behind her. I did not think you would run all the way here. Give me a moment to catch my breath. Lanoya pointed to the tapestries. It was right there. I saw it get bigger and jump out of the canvas, and then it disappeared. Teacher Salasha shook her head and ran her hand over the top of the tapestries. It is sewn in, using powers of the land, perhaps with an imitator's power like yours. Only those with powers of the land can see the symbols. To anyone else, it is a beautiful design and a lovely way to decorate. Lanoya furrowed her eyebrows. But where did it go? Teacher Salasha placed a hand on her shoulder. Feel your power grow inside you, and it will show you the symbols for a sign reader. Lanoya glanced up at her and wrinkled her nose. What is a sign reader? The calm, crooked smile appeared again. I have the power of a sign reader. I can read, see, and describe symbols like these. I can also see them around people, symbols of who or what they will become. She pointed to the air around Lanoya's head. You have the symbol of a teacher, a lady, an imitator, and of knowledge. From all the sneaking around you have been doing, I am surprised there is not a symbol of mischief like Teacher Devon. Lanoya eyed the teacher in front of her and took a step back. You see things that are not there? The kind teacher pointed to the tapestries. You saw something that was not there, or rather you saw something hidden that only few can see. A secret it has chosen to share with you, and with me as well. Do you wish to see the other secrets the land's powers hold? Lanoya wrapped her lips over her teeth and nodded. Teacher Salasha slid past her to the next tapestry and ran her fingers over it. Lanoya's arms tingled, and another symbol jumped out of the tapestry. She did not rub her arms. Instead, she shivered and spun around the room. Symbols popped out of every canvas, beautiful, intricate, and strange symbols. Chills ran up and down her whole body. What do they all mean? Teacher Salasha shook her head. If you want to know what they mean, you'll have to ask Teacher Lady Kitess. If you want to know what they are, I can tell you. Entranced by the floating symbols, she nodded. Yes, please tell me. Teacher Salasha had a lilt in her voice as she spoke and pointed to each tapestry. This one represents the power of a feeler, and this represents the power of a healer, and this one represents the power of a visionary, someone that can see their own future and the events surrounding their life. The next one represents the power of a seeker. She continued around the room. They all represent a different power of the land. Teacher Salasha pointed to the next one and smiled. This one represents the power of a sign reader. The next one represents the power of an interpreter. This symbol is for the power of a watcher. This symbol indicates the power of a seer, someone who can see any future events or people in a land or kingdom that will happen after the seer's own life has ended. And this one is for the power of a blocker. She pointed across the room. That one represents the power of a life sensor. That one, the power of a sharer. Next is the power of a truth sensor, and that one represents the power of a caller. She skipped the one in the middle and the last one. Still in awe of what she saw, Lanoya pointed to the one in the middle and watched as it grew larger and filled the whole room. What is that one? Teacher Selasha responded, I thought you would know. It is your power, after all. It is a symbol that represents the power of an imitator. Lanoya studied the symbol and inched her hand toward it. It disappeared back into the tapestry before she could touch it. The tingling sensation dissipated. Lanoya's knees buckled and she fell to the ground. Teacher Selasha handed her the plate of food. You really should eat before using that much power. Lanoya inhaled the food. I'm not used to eating this much. This often. How can a tingling sensation be so exhausting? It must be this place and those symbols. She glanced up at the teacher. Silver strands of her hair twirled around her brown ones. What makes her think my power exhausted me? Why do they all call this energy and tingling sensations a power? I do not understand this place or these people. I was not this sore and tired in my alley. Teacher Selasha sat down next to her and pointed to the last tapestry. The last one symbolizes a life power, which is different from a life sensor. Someone with a life sensor power can see how much life you have in you or how close to death you are. The life power is the ability to share another life source by giving or taking a portion of it. She continued, it is only temporary and can only be created by combining all of the other powers of the land together. It is difficult to achieve and requires everyone's concentration and skill. It is written about. However, I have not seen nor heard of it being created or used in all my seasons. Perhaps you will change that. Lanoya's jaw dropped and she shoved the plate away. Me? What makes you think I will change anything? I'm not special. I do not have a power. I am an orphan that no one wants, and no one here will leave me alone. The soothing, crooked smile crept onto Teacher Selash's face. You are wrong. You have been mistreated and ignored. You are special. You discovered a room no one knew existed. You see the symbols of the tapestries. I cannot do that. You are wanted here. That is why no one will leave you alone. I believe Teacher Lady Kitess wishes you were an interpreter, so she could keep you all to herself. Lanoya stared at the ground. I have not seen Teacher Lady Kitess since my first son here. I thought she had forgotten about me. Strange that this woman thinks differently. Admon is right. These people want me for my power. They will not get it. I need to finish my drawing so I can hide in that room. Then I can explore the stones and escape the scrutiny of these supposed teachers. She gathered her strength and stood up. Do you know what happened to my drawing? Teacher Selasha stepped back. Feeling better, I see. I believe Teacher Lord Humby has your drawing. You may obtain it by joining his lessons this sun. Lanoya scowled. This is a trap. That old man does not teach anything, and he does not like me or my drawings, so why would he want me in his lesson? Selasha strolled out of the room. I have lessons to give. You can stay here or join Teacher Lord Humby's class. I am not going to his class. I just need to figure out how to get my drawings back so I can finish it and make a home in the basement. A plump man entered the room. I do not like feeling trapped and searching for a way out. Any chance I can convince you to feel happy or get you to come to my lessons so my learners can determine what you are feeling and how to help you? Lanoya peered at him through the corner of her eyes. I am not helping you, and I am not going anywhere with you. I do not trust you. The man nodded. I am Teacher Lord Halek. I am the teacher of feelers. Without a blocker, I am forced to feel what you feel. You are a plethora of emotions, which would be a great lesson for my learners. She inched away from him. What emotions? Why should I believe you? He sighed. Curiosity is the strongest, followed by fear and mistrust, along with disbelief and awe. You also have some confusion and uncertainty. If you wish to satiate your curiosity, you may accompany me. If you wish to stay here, sorting through your confusion and mistrust, that is an option. However, if you do not attend any lessons, you will not be permitted to stay. Perfect. All I have to do is continue to avoid lessons, and they will send me away. When will they send me away? Where will they send me? Back to my alley? To the dungeons? Or somewhere else? Lanoya sighed. You leave me no choice. I will retrieve my drawing from Teacher Lord Humby's class. She slid past him into the corridor.